Fuck it. Captain, you ready?
We can make it if we try.
Captain.
What the? I guess I'm the captain now. Proceed.
What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land?
The fuck is going on around here? Who the hell's that?
I don't know. We have an
Hello, my
intruder.
darling.
Wait a minute, you didn't tell me he was coming on.
Surprise!
What the fuck? What's up,
This is
brother?
a
How you
acid
guys doing?
doctrine state here, boy.
We did.
Get
We're
off
all
my
sneaky.
land.
Get out
No,
my boat.
You're welcome. You're welcome on our land, sir.
Oh my gosh.
You were
Do you
invited.
For
announce
now.
who it actually is? For all of our listeners out there who can't see this handsome guy with us.
We have blurry backgrounds tonight. I don't know.
Oh my
Felt like it
gosh.
was
Blurry backgrounds.
blurry background vibes.
You look like you're in like witness protection or something.
We are
What'd you see?
prohibition land, right?
We
What
saw
is
things
going
we were not
on?
supposed to see.
BGG.
Yeah,
at
man,
you.
everyone in
There
the
you go.
chat. We got some people here. We got Gannick. We got Curly Greenleaf. We got Judas. We got Grateful Gardener. We got Max Torque. We got Cushcat, Badger's Bunk, Phil Bushman, Istig. What up, guys? What up?
Hello,
Welcome.
chat.
And Matt Fratt and the neighborhood skunk just popped in
Yeah.
as well.
Look at all these awesome
What's going on,
people.
everybody?
Hello, hello, hello.
Well,
Happy Tuesday.
yeah. A little powwow around the fire.
We're just
Welcome,
getting
children.
together for a chat, right? Is that what they call it? That's what the kids call it nowadays.
I believe so. But the first topic of chat, of course, as always, is what is, well, how am I trying to incorporate the campfire part of this? We're all gathered around the fire. So we
Right.
all have our own kind of fire going on tonight. Like what fire are you working with? Oh, you got a little butane torch.
Extra
Jet.
butane.
What is it called? The clipper lighters.
What are you?
Where is it? There it is.
Are you dabbing tonight, sir?
No. I just have I grabbed a little cone to smoke.
He holds up a cannon.
It's like
This
the one
I'll
you
start
sent me
if you
last
want.
week, dude. And look what he even did. He went out of his way to send me a package before the show of these. Look. Oh, it's blurry background, but it says tiny baby joints of George's root beer. Unlike the behemoths that you yourself smoke, sir. But
Yes, this is
There
actually
you
this is George's sauce though. So this is George's root beer times the sauce. It's a new
Ooh.
thing. Anybody that picked up a pack on the drop I did in December, that was the freebie that came with that. With those, it was only 10 packs that went out. So anybody that was fortunate enough to grab one of those, it came with a pack of the what I'm tentatively calling root beer sauce right now, which is my sauce strain times the George's root beer. Really nice, very flavorful. Carries that the migraine relief,
That was my
but it
question.
also keeps it gives it definitely a bigger punch than just the sauce itself. and it has a nice flavor to it. It has that caramel, creamy kind of flavor that the George's root beer has normally too. So that's nice. But it definitely is a heavier hitting smoke. Not as heavy as the George's root beer, but it's good. I'm liking it so far. So it's in testing right now. So sometime maybe, I don't know, next year or later in the fall. I don't know. It'll come out eventually sometime.
Well, I mean, I'm just taking some
Yeah.
dry rips on this little tiny baby joint you sent me, and it's got. I mean, I don't know if I've ever had the actual George's root beer, but like I can tell right away, this is a very unique flavor. Like caramel, like you said, was kind of the first thing that
Well,
jumped
that
out at
is
me.
those
Maybe
the small joints are
like
the
a
George's root
salted.
beer, and then I had sent you some of the seeds of the root beer
Gotcha.
sauce. So that is
Oh,
the actual
gotcha,
George's root
gotcha.
beer you have there.
And this is true George's root beer. Gotcha. And then yeah, I have a couple of the root beer sauce, which should be good for my wife's mom.
And then I sent you
but
some of the
Mhm.
harvest of the Fenrir because I know you had tried the Fenrir and liked that one before. So I
yes, I
sent you
did.
a
I liked it. Dude, that one's already
little bit of
gone.
that as well.
That one's long gone. But I was I had to save the joint you sent me for the show. But this is like a first reaction, dude. I haven't dry puffed on this. I haven't smoked either of the two you sent. So this is my first experience with George's root beer. And I must say, man, this is fucking this is something unique. I mean,
Now you know why I
it's
liked
coming
it so
through
much.
right away.
We've
It's
been
like
we've been saying that for weeks.
Months.
I mean, it's not that I don't
As I
trust
say, I think
you guys.
Monster first tried it over the summer, maybe.
Tell me the lineage of this again, please.
So George's root beer is a cross between GMO root beer, which is by Exotic, and a strain called George, which is by Irie Genetics. And George is Gorilla Glue times his Arise.
Wow.
It's got some Gorilla Glue notes in there for sure, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. No, that's I mean, delicious.
Yeah,
First
the
puff.
two of them,
I like.
really paired really well. And when I made the initial cross, I only pollinated like a single branch just so I could get some seeds to play around with to see if it was worth, moving forward with. And from that, I found a phenotype I really, really liked, and that's what I actually used to reverse and then self for the seeds that are available or going to be available come February.
Mmm. Mmm. God
And
damn.
it is delicious. It's absolutely ridiculously
Yeah,
delicious.
it's like a salted caramel kind of, a very funky note. I like my funky ladies.
Yeah,
Um,
it's unique, man. It's
this
not
fits the
like,
bill, dude.
really isn't anything like it. in my opinion.
Well, I mean, this is like verging on these types of, I mean, that local skunk that I grew and we talked to Rudy about, you know, like it's in this realm of like nastiness, like the almost like Rom Scotty, dare I say. It just has some balls to it. It's
So
good.
that's what I was going for with this particular one. Yeah, I wanted something. I mean,
Right?
I typically gravitate more towards things that I look at them from the medicinal side first. And in this one, of course, I wanted to find something on that in that realm, but the smoke was just so good. I had to move forward with it, even though, I mean, some pain relief, some things like that, but anxiety relief, but it's not like like the sauce, where the sauce is, if you have a headache, you smoke the sauce, the headache's gone. It's not something along those lines. So, but I mean, all weed, I think you can find a medicinal purpose for it.
I would
Absolutely.
agree.
But if nothing else, this just makes you happy smoking it because it tastes so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
It's medicinal in and of itself.
Yeah, Nicholas Haggy wrote salty caramel balls.
Yeah, BGG's salty caramel balls. I love it. Could have a show title right there, my friends.
Is it?
Oh
Well,
my
what do you
goodness.
guys smoke out? Well, why don't you tell us about the root beer sauce, BGG, that you got?
So I actually did while I was smoking it, but you mustn't have been listening. Um, it
I was
it
too
ca-
wrapped up in this.
it carries over a lot of the flavor of the George's root beer for sure. So it has that caramely, creamy kind of a flavoring to it, but also with the medicinal effects of the sauce. So it does have the headache relief and things like that. Um,
Word.
the only like I said, the only people that actually have it, I mean, you have some of them, but anyone that got a pack back in December when I did like the pre-drop of George's root beer got a free pack of the root beer sauce with that as well. That was a freebie that came with that. So if you want to grow it, that's the only way to get it right now. I mean, I have plenty of seeds, but I'm in the testing phase right now. I don't want to put them out there for people to buy. So
Very cool. I appreciate you reiterating that for
sure.
the stoned captain over here. What about you, G3? What you got tonight?
I actually got a package from BGG, and he sent me. I don't know if you guys can see this. Some of this. Oh, it's not going to focus, is it?
That's
Anyway,
Witch's Brew,
so
isn't
he
it?
sent me some Witch's Brew. He sent me the seeds, and he sent me this. The other one is like almost gone, but this is what I'm smoking on tonight. So look at these big old things.
Holy smokes, that's it's
So
like a
pretty.
quarter as big as your hand, that nug there.
It is. That's very big. That's very big. And
Nice.
it's beautiful. She's very like, she gives me really nice like tea leaves and sage. So for something that's called Witch's Brew, she's like right on the money. She's absolutely beautiful. She's like slightly floral. There's something savory to her as well. She's very nice, and she's
I know what it is.
super
It's
chill and
Eye of Newt
happy.
terps.
Yeah, Eye of Newt. Yes, Eye of Newt is actually shit. I want to say mustard seed.
Really? Is that
Okay.
like it's not an
Yeah.
actual like eyeball from a newt?
No, it's not. All of those different like
It's fucking bullshit.
witches
I feel ripped
ingredients
off
are
now.
actually like herbs and things.
No
Sorry
shit.
to disappoint you.
Yeah,
So
I feel
not
ripped
like
off.
a snake's tongue is not really a snake's tongue. This is not. Nope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like some
No Eye of Newt.
Can't do
Yeah.
this. Bullshit.
like
Could you
lion's
imagine
mane.
drinking
You
something
know,
with Eye of Newt in it?
isn't
No.
there like a plant called lion's mane that's like
Oh
easily
yes, it's a
found in-
mushroom,
mushroom,
and it's
yeah.
Oh, mushroom, okay.
delicious. Oh my gosh, and they're gorgeous too.
So it'd be
And they
like
have a
They're
lot of
so
really
that-
big
medicinal
and
benefits
fuzzy.
to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Neuroprotective.
So if you see that,
So I
in a
wanted to
Witch's
get
Brew
together with
recipe-
Monster before we did this because I have stuff for him, but I was not able to arrange that to happen, unfortunately. So we're gonna get together soon because I have some of the George's or the root beer sauce I wanted him to have to smoke, and then I have more George's root beer I'm gonna throw his away too because I know how much he likes it.
I do like it.
Yeah, and I
Uh,
have the Witch's Brew, which are the Cultivation Conversation freebies for the
Ooh.
Patreon.
Mm-hmm. Presents for our Patreon.
Oh, that's awesome. There you go. Little shameless plug. Yeah, we do have a Patreon, folks, and that's how you can get access to some of these, exclusive like show genetics that we sometimes talk about. You also get your own channel in the Discord. People seem to love that.
They do.
And also a plug for our Discord. If you're not, you don't have to be
It's I like how everybody that is in the that does the Patreon gets their own page because you can go and actually look at specifically. It's like having an Instagram page, but through Discord.
For sure. And I will never delete your pictures that you post. I will never zuck you on our Discord.
He might cuck you,
Promise.
but he will not zuck you.
No, and by posting on our Discord, you do subject yourself to unauthorized raids on the show. Just saying, putting that out there too. But only from us, not from
Mhm.
people you actually care about rating.
Mhm.
Yes, please join our Discord. It's a free community. You don't have to sign up for anything to come on board there. And that's really where all of us, I mean, I'm finding myself there and more these days. I don't know about you guys.
Well, yeah, Instagram is dead,
Yeah, definitely.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
Such a
kind of.
shame. It was such an amazing, thriving community for a while.
It
It was
was.
a beautiful thing to be part of. And then they killed
And
it.
everyone got shadow banned, and they I mean, sponsored posts every other post. It's crazy.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest problem is the sponsored content that you get littered with. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, you don't even see
Um,
things that from people that you follow anymore.
Right?
no, no,
It's a
no.
shame.
For sure.
They should offer some sort of like premium feature. I'm not just saying that I would subscribe, but I mean, like for instance, YouTube has the premium to get no ads and just get content.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I'm surprised Instagram,
Mm,
being the money hungry whores that they are, because they could make a whole lot more. Let's just say like a $3.99 a month subscription for
yeah.
not getting ads. You know what I mean?
Or if
I
you
might.
had like a pink check mark, you wouldn't be shadow banned anymore or something.
I don't fucking
Something
know.
super dumb like that.
Yeah,
$10 a
it,
month so you can actually communicate
I think
again.
10 a month is a little high, but like $3.99, maybe even as high as $4.99, something like that. You know, but what we're getting
Well,
fucking we're getting subscribed to death. I mean, you used to want to like be able to cut the cord, right, to save money, but now like you're spending more. Even if you have cable and you didn't cut the cord and you want to watch everything, like I mean, you're wearing the Eagle shirt, like right, like
oh,
games are
dude, I
hosted on
mean,
Netflix and fucking Prime now. It's
Hmm.
ridiculous. You
oh
have to
yeah,
have these extra
yep.
services to watch games. That's
If you want to
fucked
watch
up.
any of the others, I got this weird thing called like Fubo, like just for sports, just for the playoffs, so I can watch all these other games without having to worry about fucking Stream East cutting out on me every 30 seconds. You watch
Yeah, this is the
sports,
first year we actually
you know
didn't
my pain.
pick up one of those subscription things for all the football games. We did it the past few years, and it worked okay. But the game, sometimes you'd be streaming one, it would cut out, it would pause, you'd have to reset
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing, and they're just a pain in the ass. Yeah, you could watch any game and you could go back and watch them later, which was a nice feature. But I don't know. It's
Man,
just
I miss when it was all just like for free and came into your house via the airwaves.
mhm.
Yes,
You
the
actually
good old
remember
days.
that? You're old
Yeah,
enough to remember that?
I mean, like
I think
barely.
Captain
Yeah,
any
shaking
whippersnappers are
his
old enough to
fist at
remember
the
that.
cloud.
my first TV set, like we had like the rabbit ears on it.
Hmm.
And I remember it vividly. And there was like, this certain channels would not come in that great, but like if I stood in this one specific spot next to the TV, it would kind of use me as like an antenna.
An
You an
additional antenna.
antenna.
And
Did you guys
my
ever do
mom
the
would,
thing where you take the
yeah, my
foil
mom
and
would be
you
like,
made the
stay over
antennas
there.
longer? Did you ever do
Yep.
Oh
that?
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh
we would
yeah,
have
dude.
to if say one of my sisters, it was their turn to watch TV. So if it was an hour program, we'd have to go and hold on to the thing and no, don't move. Nope, you got to put this arm up and so they could watch their TV program. But it was reciprocated when you wanted to watch your program. And you had this 6 foot long by 8 foot tall box and a 13-inch screen in the center of it with like 3 channels to flip through.
Oh, the
Oh
good
my God,
old
how things
days,
have
my
changed.
friends.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
The
it's
That's
good
right.
old
crazy.
days. I mean, yeah. I mean, TV was just came into your house. You just
Yeah,
had it.
now we're all walking around with
And
supercomputers in our pockets.
yeah,
Mhm.
but you got to pay a monthly subscription for like the same shit that you once
Hmm.
just got for free. I don't care that it's in 4K.
Getting nickel and dime to death.
Yeah, right.
Truly.
Well, what do you got tonight, Monster? I see you ripping that bong over there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I am still smoking on that Odin Sons that I harvested from the solo cup.
Nice.
It's like a little
That's
sweet.
beautiful, bud.
It's really pretty.
Oh,
That's your
they get big and they get thick. If obviously not so much in a solo cup, but um, I think my record solo cup was 26 ounces. Yeah, 26 ounces. 26 grams.
26 ounces. Yeah.
26
That's a
ounces.
fucking goal.
That's a
26
world
No,
ounces
record.
a solo cup.
in a
I,
solo cup.
I got close to an ounce off this. I can believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I will. I'll
You have smoked yourself retarded.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that either.
I'll do solo cups every now and then. They're fun. They're fun little projects to do, and um, they're super easy early on to keep up with. But when it gets later, especially in cocoa, I don't know how anyone would do it with soil because you run out of nutrients. You'd have to put something in it. But
No,
with
that's only a
cocoa,
feat that you could do with cocoa.
yeah, towards the end, you're like watering the thing three times a day, or rigging up something so it can butt chug a little bit here and there. And
Aqua valve, baby. Fucking flood tray.
who was it? I think it was
Easy.
Mighty Mike was actually talking about how he 3D printed um, an autopot tray, but the reservoir is for a solo cup. So like
That's
he
cool.
he 3D printed it
Oh
so it
my
will hold
gosh,
the
that's
valve,
so
but then it's
cute.
got a solo cup in it. I want to see. I
That's
know
so
he put a
cute.
picture of it somewhere. I want to find that because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it
Oh my
does.
gosh, how adorable.
I like
I
that a
want
lot.
one.
Yeah.
Mini
I
Autopot.
want like 10 of them.
That's inventive for sure.
Solo cups are fun. They just are. I mean, I know Alabrije does the bonsai challenge and all that, and where you're trying to a bonsai. Obviously, you want to train it, and you do all these different things, bending it over. Or, some people expose the roots, and there's just a lot of really cool things you can do. Um, I don't know. I think anybody has space for just a small plant. And if it's something that maybe you're like, oh, to add some variety to what you're already smoking on, go ahead and plant a little seed, put it in the corner, and just let it go.
Bonsais
You
are
know.
fucking cool.
Mm-hmm. Because I found with growing so many plants and then a lot of them being automated now, you don't spend as much time. I'm not having to hand water everything, so now I can take more time to defoliate or bend a branch over, do some LST, or do whatever as far as scrogging out a big plant or training and doing different things like that. But if I have a solo cup going or just a small potted plant, cannabis plant, um, I find I probably spend as much time just messing around with that little thing in there and just enjoying the process and watching it, because they don't get very big and you can move them around wherever you need them to be. And they're just fun. I think everybody should try it, especially uh, when you kind of get further on in the growing and, maybe things are not becoming boring for you, but maybe monotonous, or you need something to kind of liven it up again, bring some passion back into the grow if it has become so mundane and the same thing over and over and over again for you.
It's like so what you're kind of analogizing bonsai cannabis plants with like going to adult world when you're like but getting a little lube and some sexy panties. You're gonna spice things up.
I don't know how that came from, where that,
What?
but sure. I was actually talking about like reinvigorating that, initial, like when you first
Yeah,
start
that's
growing,
what
you're all excited and you're like, yeah, I want to grow, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then next thing you know, you have 100 packs of seeds and more seeds you'll never be able to grow in your lifetime, and you're like, okay, well now I'm just gonna, okay, I know if I plant this and then it's gonna take this long and I got to do this and for some people it just becomes monotonous after a certain amount of time,
yeah, you know what I
even though the
mean. You
end
know what I
result
mean.
of it, I've really never gotten to that point, but I still like doing new things. I still experiment with things. I still like, I'll go and be like, all right, well I'm gonna see if I can just break these freaking branches off and see what happens to the plant. I
It's
know
the
that's a horrible thing to say, but
fuck around and find out.
yeah,
You got to keep things spicy,
what
man.
can they
Listen,
take?
what can they take?
Yeah.
You want to talk about what can they take? I got that Mama Ram Scotty in the middle of my attic. It's been like 4.5 weeks now, no light, barely any water. it's things still very much alive, but it's not happy at all. But like,
Just
I
dying a
can't
slow
believe.
death.
Yeah, it's base.
That's
It's
hard.
it's
Just
not
kill
doing
her.
well.
Don't
I'm
torture
just
her and then kill her. Just
blown
kill her.
away at how much they can take.
Just put her outside and see if she can survive this weather we're having.
She's
Oh, maybe not.
negative
2
That. Let's
days
give her a
4
quick
tops.
degrees
test.
right now.
Yeah, 2 days tops. They freeze instantly.
Oh yeah,
Talk
yeah,
about
pretty
fear
quick.
derping. Jeez.
Well, now maybe I should just put her out of her misery, but she was around just in case, and now I got definitive proof that her clones are in fact growing vigorously. So
Nice.
I talk shit, but I've let plants die the same way. Unfortunately, it just happens
they can
when they serve their purpose.
they can take
Well,
a
that's just
lot.
it. I have moms that's I'll do the same exact thing. You take a bunch of clones and then you're just kind of like neglecting the mom and hoping the clones all take. And then once you see some roots and you're happy, you're just like, all right, well, you're out of here.
Yeah, because the thing is, I know I could, like, even with the state that she's in, like, I know if I really needed to, I could bring her back, and like,
Right.
and she's still right there. But now that I know, I got
You're just having a hard time letting go.
pretty much.
Baby, come back.
It is hard. It's hard to say goodbye sometimes.
Take
I
another
think
Well,
bite.
just
you
think
just
you're not actually saying goodbye because you have clones
procrastinating.
and it's the same
I
exact
know,
plant.
no, you're
So
totally right. And I just smoked my last little bit of her too, which I was like, I shed a little tear, just like, this isn't goodbye. This is just farewell. I'll see
Right.
you again. Just maybe 10, 12 weeks from now.
It's time for a
I,
cuddle.
I have a mom that I'm actually flowering out now that I kept around for a while and tried her with some different breeding projects. I just wasn't really happy with any of the results of what was coming out of it. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to retire you. So I didn't take any clones. It was a big enough plant that I could have taken a bunch of clones off it and did away with her like that. But I'm like, I'm just going to flower it out. And so she's in my big tent right now with one of the other projects that I'm growing out in, and planted the sauce.
Oh, yeah.
So she's in the 5x5 that I have set up in my room now.
Well, now it's like kind of walking the line between like keeping clones and having a bunch of clones to run all the time. But I love popping seeds too.
Right.
The mystery of not knowing what you're gonna get, finding something special, But I mean, I'm sure I'm just gonna keep doing both. So.
Well, that's just
spicy.
it. I think the hunt, and that's like doing hunting through some of joint stuff that we got. Oh gosh, it was back in October now or something when he did that drop, or November, and I did the what is it, the black
Black bourbon.
black bourbon,
Black
the black
bourbon.
bourbon, and
Yeah.
I have 4 of them that I popped all the seeds, the whole entire thing. There are only 4 males. There were 21 seeds, 4 males. I was like,
that's funny.
Holy
dude.
cow, that's amazing. And then to go through the other, one of the females just was really runty stunty, so I got rid of her pretty early. And then I had 16 of them. I kind of let grow out a little more. Yeah, so I narrowed it down to 4, my 4 favorite, and it's completely based on stem rub and structure. So I'm actually going to be up potting them to flower them out very, very soon.
What age were they when you like narrowed it down to your final 4?
Oh gosh, I planted them pretty much right away, so that would have been like mid-November. They're probably 50 days old now.
Okay.
And I would say 2 weeks ago, so that would have been like 40 days, 35, 40 days when I made the decision.
Differentiate the stem rub that much when they're that young. That's
When they're
incredibly
good
impressive.
genetics and they're really stinky, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a
Fascinating.
very distinct, there were, obviously there were some of them that were probably more to Captain's liking and very offensive. And then other ones that were like more things that I prefer, as far as that kind of thing. But I'm also looking structure wise. So some of them they weren't really throwing a lot of side branching. They were, the leaves were a little too clustered. Maybe the node spacing wasn't how I like it and things like that. So that makes the decision a little bit, unless I have a stem rub, I'm like, wow, this is pretty unique. Then I will take the risk and just kind of do that. But I like to kind of flower everything out. But with this, where it wasn't anything I was necessarily thinking I would ever work with, I just wanted to grow some of them out to kind of be part of the little grow along thing and do all that. I just wanted to do that process and just kind of narrow it down before flowering it out, because I don't plan on taking clones of any of these. If there's something that really stands out, I'll probably just re-veg it.
That's always a good way to do it too. I mean,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I might,
it's-
it's possible that one of the other ones that I culled off is a unicorn, and you'll never see that again. But I don't have to worry about that. I will never know because I didn't flower it out.
Sacrifice to the canna gods.
That's it.
Well,
So I'm looking forward to actually growing those out. I'm probably going to up pot them this upcoming week and then get them flipped within a week after that. Let them settle into their new shoes and then
and how
rock and
many
roll.
again did you say you kept?
4.
Or
Well,
Yeah.
And my other question was, now you said up potting. Like what size container are they in now?
They're
And
in a
then
1 gallon right now,
okay,
and they're going to
what do
go
they
into a
go
5.
into? And that's going to be your final container.
Yeah, and because they'll go into auto pots, so they'll be in the
Cool.
5-gallon fabric
5
bags.
gallon.
Yep.
Perfect. All like fresh soil, or what do you use?
Cocoa. I do cocoa, so
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
it's. I mean, I do reuse cocoa, but I actually just mixed up a whole bunch of new because some of the older stuff was getting a little old, so I needed to refresh it. That's usually what I'll do is I'll have some older stuff that I'll rinse off, or even sometimes I don't even rinse it off. I do, like I said, I like to experiment. I like to see what I can do with the different plants. So I have a 1 gallon hardwall pot that I'm growing the 3rd plant in it right now in a row, and I didn't. I just the stems are still from the first 2 are still sticking out of it. I just planted another seed in it.
That's
So I'll do that kind of thing
eventually
sometimes. Just
just
why not?
just kind of die,
Yeah,
eventually just
whatever.
die. Yeah, why not? That's cool, dude. That's cool. I'm awaiting some of your like real deep into flower pictures of this grow along. I know that black bourbon's supposed to be a beautiful plant.
Yeah, I'm
sure
looking
you
forward to
picked
that one for sure.
some nice ones
Yeah,
out of the harem of females you were blessed with. Jeez, dude.
I know. I couldn't. I like I said, I was just waiting. I'm like, why? Because I sex them out in this solo cup, and I'm like, why are you not showing me any? Where are the males? Where the hell are the males? Like some of them, like I think 3 of them showed pretty early overall as far as sexing them that way, and then the 4th one like popped up like maybe 2 weeks later or something. And then I started seeing pistols, and I'm like, okay, well, these are all females, and this is insane. I was really hoping that it had been, close to that 50-50, but I know even with him saying, they typically get more females or whatever, then I wasn't expecting that many. So that's an insane.
I think that happened to quite a few people in this grow.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It
funny.
is pretty remarkable when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It is, it's amazing that like selecting for all the females of a certain, like the plant is aware that you are only picking the females to carry along its genetic line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost like it's adapting to its environment, like making you want to keep it around more of itself, like it's
Right,
just
exactly.
it's
I know that with most of the stuff with like regs that I've released and grown out and everything, they're usually 50-50. It's very rare, maybe 60-40 sometimes leaning on the female side, but it's pretty rare when you get that kind of a ratio. That's unusual. I would, as a breeder, it would be extremely frustrating, especially if I'm trying to hunt through his stuff or find a male,
Find good males.
you know. But
That's what they say. All the good men are harder to find these days.
Amen.
That's
The sigh from G3 was priceless.
even harder to find. I mean, and so and that's always, and as a breeder, BGG, what are some things you're looking for in your studs?
for like a male,
Yeah, man.
so vigor is huge. I want to see one, and it really, if you're talking autoflower or photo period, it's a lot of the stuff is the same. When it comes to picking a male, whether it's male for auto or photo, once they show sex, how long is it before they actually start dropping pollen? When they show sex can also be an indicator sometimes. And then especially for a photo period, if you find one that produces a lot of pollen sacs, because you're going to be able to collect a lot of pollen, that when it does its thing and pollinates a room or pollinates whatever, that you're going to get maximum bang for your buck on that. So
Word, dude.
that is huge as far as that kind of thing. But stem rub, if a male is showing trichomes, that's always a nice sign.
We've heard mixed opinions on that one. We've heard a couple breeders, say sorts of these same sorts of things when they're looking for males. Like, we want boys that are gonna hold their load for a long time. We want
Not
boys that
necessarily for a long time. You want one that's going to do it for the time you're looking for, because one that releases too early typically lends too much of his genetics to the mix. One that
interesting.
holds it for too long doesn't add enough to the mix.
Interesting.
So you're kind of looking for that sweet spot.
Yeah, right. And you ever have her just be like, "Are you done yet? Fuck, is this anywhere close to over?" Like, yeah, we don't want that as much as we don't want the premature finish, do we? But it's an interesting kind of like, all these things like are kind of the
There's
same
also,
with
I like
people too.
to, with photo periods, I like to bring the male far past um, where he's useful to me, to see how he senesces out, basically.
Ah,
Um, you can get some indicators from that kind of a thing, to see, is there a late herm that shows up in a male? Um,
great
is there a
point.
tendency towards that? Because you do want to test your males just like you test the females. Um, can't really do it as much with autoflowers. There are things that I do. There's actually a trick I learned from Jan Jimmy where he'll take a male. Once it shows sex, he takes it at the bottom of the stem, rips it completely out of the soil, and then shoves it back in the soil to see if he can stress it out, see how it's going to take that stress.
That's
If it
fucking
handles it well,
Yeah, that
then
brutal.
that
sounds extreme.
it is very brutal and is very extreme. But if it's going to trigger a herm response, or if it's going to die, if it something like that, if it's a hardy plant, it's going to be able to take that kind of abuse.
Okay.
You know, so and that you
Okay.
can do that without killing the strong plants. They'll just keep going like you never did it, and that's kind of
Shit.
an indicator of something that you want to carry forward in your genetics. You want something that can handle abuse. Because a lot of growers are new growers or neglectful or whatever, and you want your plant to be able to go, oh, you haven't watered in a couple days and things bone dry. Well, you want the plant to be able to handle that. Oh, you overwatered a little bit today. You don't want your plant to just die because you overwatered one day. Oh, you gave it a little too much nutrients. You don't want it to die because of these different kinds of things. Oh, your monitor went off and you didn't realize it. Now all of a sudden it's raining in your grow room. You want it to be able to handle these higher swings, so later on in flower you're not getting bud rot because your humidity was a little too high.
Have you ever had
So
protective services called on you?
I was just
No,
Huh.
not
we're
yet.
abusing our plants as breeders and growers, like abusing it, breeding them that they're used to the abuse, so you can ship them off to all these abusive growers out there, and we can all just abuse our plants.
You guys are fucking sick.
Well, one thing I haven't done it in a while, but a few years ago
We're
when
breeding
I was
female plants that keep their mouths shut when they do get
Yeah, you
Oh
know,
my
a little bit.
Oh.
Captain.
don't be calling the fucking cops, bitch.
You got to select for them.
I used to take, if I was testing a plant, I would take and just put it outside if it was snowing overnight, and then I'd bring it back in the morning. It'd be covered in snow, and I put it back in the room in normal temperatures to see just how's it gonna do, what's it gonna do.
It's interesting, man.
Because
The thing you mentioned about the frost too, like we've heard mixed opinions about, like, is that a feminine trait or a masculine trait for plants? And
I
some
think it's a
breeders are
cannabis
like,
trait. That's my opinion on it.
okay, word.
I
like it.
haven't noticed using a male that throws frost rails or has trichomes like you would typically not, because they never look like you would see on a female. But when they start to show up, I've never had an issue later on where I'm like, oh, this thing is throwing intersex traits or anything like that, because I just think it's another potential attribute that can be added to the offspring.
That's why I asked, man.
Yeah.
You got some wisdom on that subject. I feel like you've thought about it once or twice.
I haven't. And again, if it's a matter of, okay, there's two males that I'm trying to pick from and they're very similar, they smell the same, they do, but one of them has trichomes and one of them doesn't, I'm probably picking the one that's showing some trichomes.
Cool.
It's like all things being equal, if that's the only thing that's different, then it has to be adding something that the other one probably won't. So
Can't disagree, sir. Especially not after you made this lovely Georgia's root beer.
that lovely little joint, little baby joint.
So I would consider this a normal size joint, sir. It's just that you are a big green guy, and I'm just a little teeny captain.
So I used to roll the king size myself, but I switched to the regular 1.25 a while back. I just like more.
I know I caught the thing that you had said on the last show where you were like, oh yeah, I brought over a couple little cones for BGT, and he said, oh, look at these nice dog walkers.
Yeah, that's what he called them, dog walkers. I was like, I felt insulted, my good sir. It was funny though.
They're just not what I'm
BGG,
normally used to smoking to.
Are you doing anything different in your garden this year? Whoa.
Dude, you got to stop blowing into that mic.
Breathing
sorry.
hard into that.
I gotta mute it when I'm blowing out all that smoke.
Just pull the mic away. It doesn't have to be that close.
Doing anything different up or down in your garden in the year
I added a
2025?
5x5 tent in my personal grow at home because I wanted to be able to flower out some more photo periods without taking away from the space I have for autos. So that was my big thing that I've introduced to my grow, I guess. But no, nothing really. No new fancy gadgets or anything like that going on in the garden right now. Just the same stuff that I've had for a while.
Well, 5x5, that's a lot of extra space. You can do a lot of work in a 5x5.
It's just a little tent. It's fine.
Oh my gosh.
I have dreams of outfitting that basement of yours.
Yes, me too.
We could do a lot down there.
Yeah, my initial plan I wanted to do would have been, or will be if I ever get to that point. I believe it's 12 by 23. So 12 foot by 23 foot room with an 8-foot by 10-foot flower room off of that,
Wow.
which would allow me to do everything I want to do.
Yeah, there's a lot
Here.
of space.
That is a lot of space.
Yeah. Well, you're dedicated to the craft, man. You know, we always say that.
I love working with the plant. It's every single time it's probably the reason that I create so many different crosses, even ones that don't actually make it anywhere. Is because I love that process. I love the, what will these two plants do? If I put these two plants together, are they going to be good? Are they going to be crap? But it's always an adventure. I've said it before where it's like, people, they think if you take fire and you fire and fire, it's going to automatically be fire. And it's not the case. Your selection has a lot to do with it. There's a lot more to it than just the starting genetics. That's huge. If you take a couple ILGMs and throw them together, you're probably going to have more ILGM. And you can even hunt through. There's going to be, say
Wait, ILGM's not good. Google told me.
Google says it's the best. But you're going to find an anomaly. Of course, you're going to find plants that are going to be good. And you grow their seeds out, you're going to get something from them anyway.
No, you will. I've smoked some heat from that somebody
Yeah.
did, but like it's just random.
Just not
You know what I mean?
reliable.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's white label stuff. So, maybe if you get 1 out of 10, and Fast Buds was the same way. I remember I was so excited when I was first growing. It was like the first, like, say, real pack of seeds. I had ordered some from Seedsman overseas or whatever. And I got, what was it? The purple lemonade. And I was like so excited because the pictures looked really cool. It was a purple plant and, just the flavor profiles that they were claiming and all this. So I bought a 10-pack. They're not cheap, and I grew the whole 10-pack one after another, after another, after another. I did not get one plant that grew more than 18 inches tall.
Ooh.
And this is after I was harvesting 4 or 5 ounces from the previous plants I got from Seedsman. So it's like I wasn't doing anything different. Just the seeds just were not that great. I was just so disappointed because smoke was okay. The end result as far as that was good, but like Monster likes to say, the juice was not worth the squeeze.
It was a fast dud.
Yeah, pretty much.
Geez, that information might have been a little more useful to me yesterday.
Exactly.
That's all.
No,
it's information we all need, man.
It was just, they were all over IG when I was first starting to grow, and everybody was growing them and talking about them, and they did the grow diary things and all that. And I've used one of their plants in my Asgardian wedding, uses wedding cheesecake by Fast Buds. But I got those seeds from one of their testers. So I don't think those were actually the seeds that they sell people.
It's also about the selection too. Like, it's not like a disqualifier to hear that like you used a Fast Bud starting point, because like if you found something you wanted to breed with from that stock, then I fucking assume it was really good, like and you can find diamonds in the rough anywhere.
Exactly.
But, like, what we're trying to do is increase your odds of that happening. And I think if you start with
Crop King, that's what you want to start with.
Well, like if you buy a 5-pack of seeds, you want 3 or 4 of those seeds to be really good. If you get one out of the pack that it doesn't measure up to the rest of them, okay, well, that happens. But you want the vast majority of those seeds to be good quality. Something that's going to grow for you, something that in the end is going to give you what it is you're looking for.
For sure. And then like match the strain description, the reason that you purchased the seeds in the first place, in theory, right?
Right.
What? The seed description? Match that? Blasphemy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I'm selling something that has the name root beer in it, it probably should have some notes of sarsaparilla and caramel and some kind of a root beery flavoring to it.
You would hope.
I concur, sir. And now that I have it in my hands, and I can dry puff on it. It truly does, man. And like that, it was a little confusing to hear, like, root beer. That's not a common name in our cannabis strains.
That's why the
Right.
shit is so unique.
And that's
Right.
obviously why,
It
this
is
is not a terp
surprising.
profile we get every day. So I mean,
No,
kudos to you
I was
for
very pleased. I
recognizing.
was very pleased with it as well. So I mean,
Yeah, man.
that's why I continued. My photo periods when I work them, they usually take a lot longer for me to go from the initial cross, getting all the way through to having seeds for market, because I'll usually make just a handful of seeds first, and then I can grow those out, get them out to some of my testers once I've grown them, and I'm like, okay, I think these are good to go to the next level, because I want to see, like right now I have, if I don't know if you want to pull up in your Discord under my page, I have my 5x5 tent. I have like an aerial shot. There's a big plant in there that is one of the next photo periods that I'm working on. And that is actually grape essence times grape OG. Yeah, Badger makes a good point. So the Super Sun God is one of the other ones that's coming out with the George's root beer in the next drop. And so the plant in the center back is the new one that I'm working on. That it's in testing right now, but I'm growing this one out.
Is that like,
Ooh,
so are
he's
there
large and in
3
charge.
plants in this tent?
There's 3 plants in there, yeah.
Yeah, that's
and that's a
huge
5x5.
That's a huge fucking plant, man. Yeah, I
Um,
know how big a 5x5 is, so like, yeah, that's
She's
That-
literally 5 feet
5
across.
feet across and 4 feet wide.
Yeah.
And then in the bottom left is the sauce. And then there's the other mom that I was talking about earlier that's down in the right.
Nice, dude.
So everything's it's checking all the boxes. One of my testers, Mythical Grows, is he's growing it out for the second time now. And he's been very, very pleased with it. So I don't have a name for it yet. And it's going to be a little while, probably the fall or early next year when that one will be through testing and available. But that's, some of the stuff that I'm working on moving forward. Sneak peek, yeah, pretty much. If you scroll up, like I have, there's the Super Sun God is up top, and those are pictures. Some from me, some from other growers.
Again,
And
love the artwork.
well, so Badger's Bunk was the first person on my test team to test that one out, and he did that. Oh gosh, it was over 2 years ago. He grew it out. So it's been a while since that this has been in the running. So that's why it's a Badger.
Cool. Is that it right there?
That is it. There's I think 4 pictures. I think that might be one of the ones. I think that's one I grew out. Maybe I don't really remember. I'd have to go back and look at the pictures. That's one of them. Badger grew out, and I think the next one is one that Badger grew out as well.
Chunky.
Definitely chunky.
Good Lord.
Looks great.
Yeah, nice job, guys. Badger and BGG.
Yeah, Badger just wrote in the comment there. It's been 3 years since he grew it out. The hash he's smoking right now is 2 years old.
Wow.
So
aged like a fine
going
wine.
by his what he's told me, it washes really well. Yields really well for material in, material out kind of thing. So it would definitely be something that could be used for, flower rosin or hash rosin or just hash in general. And then the second one, which you didn't get to, but is the George's root beer. I had pictures of that one up there too. So that's the second one that's going to be coming up.
My BBG.
No, you're good.
While he pulls that back up, have you ever had a combo that you really thought was going to be a winner that just like you hated when it
about
was
100 times
out?
this past year?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't.
Frustrating.
They don't all mix. That's not really frustrating. You just have to understand that and accept it. And move forward. Um,
It's like,
there's,
you know,
I
but
mean,
you
there's
had high
sometimes,
hopes. You had
you
such high
really,
hopes.
really, really want something to work, and it just doesn't. And no matter what you do, it's not going to. So
Hmm.
It's it's just best just to not be too attached to any of your projects. You know, like
yeah,
if they don't work out, they don't work out.
Mm.
But
truly,
then you have like a clear mind to judge quality of like what you're working with. And it's like with no preconceived notions, if you just handed a bunch of jars, it's like, well, fuck, I like this one the best, you know, and it's
right.
not the one that I planned on it being. It happens to all of us all the time.
Well, that, and it's not just me in the end making those kind of decisions. I do rely heavily on the test team when they've grown something out, giving me feedback on what do you guys think of this? Is this something that you feel is good enough to either move forward with or to release? And
Cool.
I mean, I take that heavily because I do trust all of them. A lot of them have been with me as testers for, oh gosh, I think it was 2021 when I first grabbed testers. So almost
You
4 years,
actually
some
like
of them have been with me.
you actually like
Wow.
listen to their opinions and value their criticisms and construction. Like you don't just use them as guinea pigs to see if the plants will herm or do anything weird, and
No,
then
because
cast
usually
them
by the time
aside,
I'm sending seeds out, I've tested for those
crash
kind of
test
things and I've grown
dummies.
them out myself. So when the testers are getting seeds, I tell them, I have this big long thing that I wrote out years ago, and basically it's, I'm not expecting you to actually do major testing. I'm looking for numbers like germination rates, which I mean, I do those myself, but into different mediums, germination rates, how long until they sex, um, how vigorous are they during the
Mm-hmm.
vegetation phase, how long do you feel they were in flower, when did they finish, and then smoke report is the very last thing. And now I tell them you can do whatever you want as far as during that testing process from start to finish, but it's not required because I know they're literally taking up space in their tents to grow something. I want them to be able to have something in the end that they can smoke. If I'm having them run all these tests, oh, I need you to raise the heat up all the way here. I need you to throw it out in the gutter for a week and then come back and get it. They're not in the end going to have as much smokable flower. I would rather see them grow a beast, have a good experience with it, and then give me a report at the end with all the numbers and the analytics that I need from them.
Cool, man.
That's just how I do it as far as my testing. Now, like I said, they're
You're
welcome to do whatever kind of testing they want.
you're a gentleman. You know, he's a not a dictator about being part of the testing team, guys. Hit him up. Are you accepting
No, we're
applications,
we're pretty
BGG?
selective. No, actually, I just added 3 more people to the team.
All right,
Um,
don't hit him up.
so not at the moment. I'm not looking for anybody new.
Just
Can
keep
we
on.
can we publicly fire your next tester? That would be fun.
Fire
Shame
them?
them. Yeah, like
Shame them?
you must get rid of one here and there. Like when you do, maybe you could just pop in for a few minutes and we just fire him on air.
It's usually through attrition. You're gonna put like on
You're
a
like
Trump wig or something and say you're
yeah,
fired.
yeah, you're right. Like,
Whatever. I
what
mean,
was that show?
if that's what gets you off,
Jeez,
you
so long ago. I feel like.
That's what Badger says. We're really picky.
Here, without further ado, here I want to see these buds. Oh my, oh my God!
Chunk, 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 chunk.
It's very colorful.
They are.
The buds
The
themselves.
Georgia's root beer is finishing right around that 60-65 day, so about a 9 weeker. Um, I have again taken some earlier, some later, so it depends upon personal preference as far as what you're looking for in the smoke. But I find that 60 days, 62, 63 days um, is a sweet spot for it for sure. Now, I have fairly large hands,
Yeah,
and that's my
I was
hand
gonna
that
say that.
is
I was gonna ask. Like
um,
your big
in the
hand.
picture. And I
That
think
is
in the one of the
big.
next pictures, I think is not the next one, but the last one is I have it in my arm.
Mm.
Oh no, it's right there.
Holy cow. Oh, I love that spiral when it goes up like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
I do too.
helix.
That's when I feel like the helix kind of a.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
pretty.
So that's a good 14 inches straight of bud. Maybe
It looks dense too.
yeah.
They're very
Yeah,
dense. Yeah, Monster can attest to that. He's held some of
cool.
the flower.
It looks
It's very nice.
It looks like, obviously a hybrid. What would you say is like the sativa, indica sativa breakdown?
Oh
I'm
gosh.
seeing thin leaves on her.
I would say it's probably like a 60-40 sativa indica
Mm,
leaner.
okay.
It definitely is not something that puts you in the dirt. Even smoking a lot of it, but
It makes
when
me
I
kind of dumb though when I smoke too much
right,
of
I
it.
was gonna say when I smoke a little bit of it, I feel somewhat creative, I can still be active and still do stuff. But then I kind of find myself kind of wandering and forgetting or starting to do side missions and stuff.
It's the
Um,
best, dude. Like you're like motivated and then you get easily distracted.
oh yeah,
I
you're
love
like
that weed.
like
It's
oh, I
like,
didn't even realize there was dust
yeah.
over here, and
Yeah,
and this
I
was
can
this was
totally-
actually the trim bin keef that I got off of when I harvested and trimmed the plant while I was doing it.
Shout out to the fucking trim bin. Thing's
yeah,
solid.
right.
Oh, I love
I
that.
gotta get a
Worth its weight in gold. It
Mhm.
pays for itself the first time you use it.
They're built like
Truly.
tanks too.
Incredible. Yep.
I like
Have you
chuck
guys
mine around
ever
and shit.
replaced your screens?
No,
I
I
have
haven't
never
had
had to.
No.
I just clean it.
Never had to.
Yeah. So give me a quick how do you clean your trim gym?
91
Your
ISO.
Slim Jim, trim bin, Slim Jim. How do you clean
Isopropyl
your?
alcohol.
I have the
Yeah, or you just
the
wipe it down?
99 IPA. I just use that. Works
Yeah,
well.
you could. I mean, the higher the better. I use the 91 because it's what's available.
Yeah, 91's way better than
Badger, I was
73
being
or
very
whatever.
gentle, and I still got that amount.
It
Jeez,
depends.
I
A lot of
don't.
it depends on the dryness of the flower you're trimming too. Um, yeah,
Yeah, this
even the
was
best flower.
Oh, it was a 14-ounce plant, so it was gave me a good yield anyway.
your
Yep.
lovely tent, sir.
Big plant.
This is
Yeah,
what
she-
I
What kind
she
of
call
was
it.
lights
digging.
are you working with these days?
Those are
What are
Photon
those?
Tech, the 600-watt Photon Tech.
Is that like when you got your new 5x5? Those are the lights you went with?
No, I've had the Photon Techs for a few years now.
Okay,
At
gotcha.
least a couple years. Yep, I really like them. They're very efficient. I have the controller with them, which allows me to, because there's one inside that tent and there's one actually in the space right next to it, over like autoflowers and some vegging photo periods and stuff. And I can control each light individually from the controller, so that's nice.
That is nice.
You know,
They're pretty.
when they come on, go off, all that kind of stuff. So
Oh,
and they're very
I don't-
bright.
Don't stare at them for too long. Or if you do, get some of those AC Infinity shades. Actually,
Yes.
I do like mine.
Glasses.
They're quite nice. Quite nice, I must say.
I don't
Yeah,
know where I got
eyeballs
my
like
I
them
don't know
too.
where I got my my grow room glasses from. I got them a long time ago, so I'm not really sure. But they do the trick. I did notice because for a while I was going in the room without them on, so don't do that. Don't be
Yeah,
stupid.
it's no bueno.
Put some glasses on. You're gonna burn your retinas. That stuff is very bright, so don't be stupid.
I'll have
Amen.
a contest with all your friends to see who can stare into the grow light for the longest.
Yeah.
So the drop right now is scheduled for February 13th, Thursday,
Oh, day before
7:10
Valentine's Day.
Eastern time, 7:10 p.m. Eastern time.
So
And I don't know exactly which
accepts
one.
seeds for Valentine's Day, you'll be set.
That's just it. Give your girl some seed. for Valentine's Day.
No, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Please, what?
Who
Where
said that?
can we get them, and when? When's the drop happening, man?
So there's a link in my Instagram page, Green Guy Genetics, Green Guy _ Genetics, right to my website. So they'll be on the website. They will go up at 7:10 Eastern Time PM on that day. And I usually almost every single drop I do like kind of a secret kind of a thing, and I don't know exactly which one I'm going to be doing this time around, but there's usually only limited to 10 packs, sometimes even less. I know when I did the Super Sun God the first time, there were 2 packs. That was it. That's all that I let go that first time. So it's a fun little thing for people that, usually they'll know maybe a week before, sometimes not even. I think when I did my my wolf pack, there were 2 photo periods I released at the same time, and I didn't say anything about them at all to anybody. I just put them up that day, and they all sold out pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. So don't hesitate if you want some of the root beer. Do not delay. Like I was
Mhm.
waiting today for the Eagles tickets on Ticketmaster at 10 a.m. I did not get them. A
oh,
little too slow, but
That's all right. You don't want to see them lose anyway.
you're just a bitter Patriots fan.
any
No,
given
no.
Sunday.
No, I just
But there is a chance. There is a chance. I've been telling people all year that the Commanders are a good team. People have been sleeping on them.
Hmm.
Daniels
That's okay.
looks
I'm a bitter
for
Steelers
real.
fan this year and every year pretty much. So
Hey man, there's only one winner every year. There's 31 other bitter fan bases out there. So it's
truly, well, unless you're like the Browns or something, and they make it to a
yeah,
playoff game in there, that's their Super Bowl.
if only, if only the Browns could be in a playoff
it's
game.
happened recently. They got smoked. But
Mm, and yeah, poor Detroit, poor Detroit fans. I do feel for them.
yeah,
But
fuck 'em.
I was saying the Commanders are good. Do not overlook the Commanders. But anyway. Um, so we can click on the link in your Instagram, Green Guy Genetics,
Why don't you type it in the comments, BGG? So everybody gets.
February
I
That
could
way it's
probably do that.
13th, day before B Day.
7:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Nice, thank you.
That's just what I do. It's 7:10 works because it's around 4 o'clock on the West Coast, and it's late enough on the East Coast, so everybody has a chance, especially with some of the more limited stuff that I put up. Um, I feel bad when somebody misses out on something they really wanted, but I only have so many of the different things, and I don't usually
Mhm.
go crazy with the amount of packs that I put out there or anything.
You're a small batch type of guy.
Small batch, dude, for real. And
Find someone in the community and trade.
This stuff is
Why is this
definitely one
not?
of a kind, guys. I mean, I think this is worth queuing up for. Get there first.
We got a great network of breeders, man. I'll tell you. You guys are all
Mhm.
doing some great work.
For sure.
Each one is bringing something to the table.
It's exciting to see the different things that that the other breeders in the community are actually putting out and doing. I love seeing like when Alabrije does a drop. I own every single um, thing from Alabrije he's ever
Yeah.
put out. I think I'm only one of 2 people that has every single thing he's ever put out.
Holy
Um,
shit.
what the
Well,
heck? Why is
it's
this not working? I tried to stupidly put a link in here, and now it's like 50,000 things long. And
oh no.
all right, green guy underscore hey Junior. There we go.
I need to set
There's
an
a
alarm
drop
for
I
this.
need. There's a drop I need.
There we go.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
I tried to put the website in there, but it was, I don't know, it was saying it was too long and it wouldn't let me do it, so I had to delete it. If you go on there, green_guy_genetics on Instagram, there's a link right on that on my homepage. Click that, brings you right to the page, shows you what I currently have available, and what actually I think this I kept the stuff that's sold out on there too, so anybody that has bought it and wants to look back at a strain description or anything like that, they can. I've been working.
Nice.
I've actually been working really hard on making my strain descriptions more descriptive and also somewhat playful for some of them.
It's tough. Dude. It's the tough part.
So I've spent a lot of time going to some of the older ones and updating them and doing things like that. So I do want to potentially move to a different website platform eventually. I don't know, maybe if I can get the time to actually build a proper website. But this one's just through Big Cartel, so it's what works.
So you first go to your IG, green_guy_genetics, and that's how we can find the link.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
Perfect.
Growing the mitten says Andy sends chocolates. Yeah, I usually do include candy with the main drop. So some of the ones in between, if I run out of candy, I don't have something to send, I don't get candy. So
dude, forget about running out of candy. It's like the last Patreon drop. A couple of guys didn't get the candy. I still haven't heard the end of it.
Yeah, don't run out of Werther's.
Yeah, I'm buying
Werther's
extra
for a
candy
Patreon.
this time.
Do not.
Yeah.
Speaking of Patreons, I want to go break into one of our Patreons' gardens. How does that sound to you guys?
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Hold up. We're coming in.
Oh, now, all right. We are in old Ronnie's garden tonight.
Old Ronnie.
Oh, old Ronnie.
Old Ronnie. And
love
old
that guy.
Ronnie, I do believe. Well, he's got some grow along plants. He's got some of that George's root beer too. So he posted a couple recent updates. It just kind of all fit. You know what I mean?
Kismet.
For
Pretty
sure.
leaves.
So, right, like he's got a nice scrog neck going on. He's got like these appear to be photo periods about day 14 of flower, about 2 weeks in. I don't know. I'm guessing entirely. They, I like to think I
Does
can
he
tell
have
a photo from an
descriptions
auto.
with what he posted, or
he does, and I'm going to get to them in 1 second. Can you get rid of that little layover there, please, for me, Monster?
Yeah, you know what? I'm fucking trying to. There we go.
Harder than it looks to
Sometimes
run a show live here. Yeah, so all right, here we'll start with this one. He says it's harder than it looks. Well, hold on. He says, I think I'm going to be a little cramped during flower. Kind of waiting for the two in the back to catch up, but I don't think it's happening. The plan is to clean up the front two and take more clones, and hopefully we don't run into humidity issues in late flower. So there you go.
Smart idea.
They are photo periods, and about 2 weeks in, perhaps.
The one on the right has some really pretty symmetry.
it does?
It does. He's got a nice straw cover crop. A bunch of probes hanging down from the ceiling. I know you can never have too many probes hanging down from your ceiling. It's a problem I have too. I just need one probe to rule them all, please.
That's all you need is one.
I know. Well, now that I have that controller 69 Pro, that is what you kind of can do, but it's a little more complicated than it seems sometimes. All right, yeah, beautiful, beautiful plant. Hold on, I'm trying to get his descriptions with him. Doesn't really have that many. I'm just gonna go through the plants and we'll get our reactions to them. Here's a nice lanky one. Looks like a lot more sativa leaning. You could tell like that.
Yeah, nice narrow leaves on that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, much larger internodal spacing. I got a plant just now that looks very much like this. He's got a nice sticker board too behind him. I love that. I'm a sticker collector myself, sir. Here's the one you were talking about, G3, that nice symmetrical looking
Very
wide
pretty.
leaf, little squat looking something or other. She's pretty.
She is very pretty. She almost reminds me of a poinsettia.
Yeah, very ornamental looking. Like it's just very pleasing to the eye. And then he's got like a nice kind of floppy leaf variety. I got two look very similar to this. It's funny.
It's
like
very
one-
interesting. So that one there that you're looking at now is the same, I believe, as the one that we called narrow leaf sativa leaning.
Mhm.
So it's very interesting when you see
you mean
how
this one?
yes,
Yeah,
when you see how they can actually change through their life and the structure and all that.
Yeah, maybe this is a clone or a couple. I don't think this is too many weeks apart. So one was the one we're looking at now is on 125.
So it's in the future.
I'm sorry. 1-1. So the first day of the
Okay.
year. All right. And then the other
So
one,
3 weeks
you
ago.
are correct, sir. This one was from like 2 days ago. The same plant, just different phases of its life.
It's beautiful either way. He's
Either
done
way,
an
but
amazing job with this.
you have the eye, man. You can tell. Like, yeah, this one's. You are right. Yeah, it's tough when I downloaded all these from Discord, so we're getting like a very just kind of non-connected look through your garden. I do apologize, sir. Should do this in a more linear fashion next time. Here's a little baby.
Cute.
It looks like a super soil man. He's probably an organic guy. And if I had to guess, this is the same plant as this, which, from the descriptions in the Discord, are George's root beer. Look at that, like, it's got that, like, mitten hand look to it.
That one leaf does, yeah. Even the one across from it as
Run
well.
across from it.
Those would be some of the earlier leaves that are coming in. You can see the ones that are further up top, and they have that normal
Not so much. Yeah.
kind of the structure you expect to see.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a clone, or I can see maybe what looked like some clones in the background.
The soil could have been a little hot in the beginning, and that could have caused the initial leaves to be a little funky, and it's just kind of grown into it, and it's able to take a little bit more now.
Yeah, hot soil can do some weird things to plants in the early stages. Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, so this one is definitely the George's, man. And, that's cool. He got in on your last drop, and he was able to snag a pack, and he'll be blessed with some salty caramel chocolate ball terps real soon. What were we calling them? BGGs, salty caramel chocolate balls?
I don't think anybody was calling them that.
That's the damn show title, sir. But yeah, this is a really cool plant, man. I'm super high from these 2 little baby joints you sent.
I could have just sent you one and you would have gotten the same thing out of them.
Well, no, then I wouldn't have had the extra.
Well, I
The
actually would
second
have.
was
I
just
would have ended up just sending you
icing on
2
the
of the
cake.
real size joints.
Yeah, but then I couldn't have, like, I don't know, enjoyed them separately. It's different when you have like when you're already high and then you have like a fresh one to kind of do the old dry puff on again. You know,
I
different
do.
perspective on the green hit. It's the same reason I pack many small bong hits for myself as opposed to one very large bong hit.
Yeah. You want those fresh terps.
We do indeed.
They make a difference for sure.
I do.
I
I
have a
mean, I'm a
little
snob like that.
what do they call it? A little bubbler that I'll smoke out of every now and then that I really like. Um, Holds like a thimble worth of water, and it gives you a decently clean hit. You know, not compared to like a bong, but it's a nice little water filtration pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool,
I,
man.
I definitely like those like low air volume smoking devices.
Yeah, as
Get
long
such
as you
a
can get a good rip
punch of
off of them,
flavor out of
then
them. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, the
Hmm.
smaller the better, as long as it's functional. I'm all about that myself, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There's a
Yeah, I
drop
just
for you.
tend to gravitate more towards the cones over anything else. I think it is the portability of them. They're there. I can pack a bunch of them and just have them, you know, available when I want to grab one or whatever. I don't have to like pack a bowl and then clean the bowl and then do all that nonsense later on. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cones are the way to go, man. Honestly, the older I get, the more I realize.
I like both. I mean, if you put a gun to my head, I don't know which one I choose, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I go back and forth, so it's tough to say.
Well,
that's
I
just it. You
do,
don't have to choose. That's the greatest part.
I know we don't.
Yeah.
We
Variety
don't.
is the spice of life.
You're right, and it all comes back to spicing it up too, and your smoking methods as well. Not just your garden methods, but your consumption methods as well. It's like swerving back into that adult store in the strip mall.
No.
What?
Mm-mm.
You always
Spicing
take it to
it
this
up.
like
You're
weird
spicing
place.
it up.
It sounds more like you've been smoking on the truck stop
What are you
than
talking?
George's
Don't
root beer
pretend like
today.
you don't know what I'm talking about.
I
I know. I have been. Have I been smoking on that truck stop boner pill weed that you? You didn't accidentally send me that,
I
did
brew
you?
feed you.
Oh my God, sir.
I
No,
guess we found a
that's
new medicinal effect of George's root beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
we must have. Gets me very very loopy in
Oh
the old
fuck.
noggin. But yeah, I want to get wrapped up tonight, guys. I want to thank you, BGG, for joining us. Of
No,
course, as
thank you guys for
always.
having me.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go, I wanted to just give a shout out to the community. The end of November, beginning of December, my oldest son went through some stuff, and I had put out a message basically asking for thoughts and prayers and whatever for him, and the outreach from everybody was truly amazing, and I'm very thankful for the community. He's doing well, still has some hurdles to get over, um, but he's still here, so that's the important thing. And I didn't have a heart attack during the process, so that's good too. And so yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody that reached out and just kept him in his mind on that day. That day when I asked about that, he was going in for brain surgery. So I appreciate everybody
Yeah. We do
throwing
have
out
an
the good
awesome
vibes,
community.
good vibes his way.
Mm-hmm.
And
You know I love you, brother.
yeah,
Yep.
we love you. Sorry that happened to you and your son.
Glad to hear he's doing well though.
Absolutely.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, man. And like, you know, when I don't know. I remember hearing kind of like the alert kind of goes out, and like everyone just shared so much love like right away. You know, like we all have your back. We're here for you if you need anything, and that goes for kind of everyone out there too. It's like that's one of the reasons we have this community as growers. It's like, you know, so we don't feel so alone in the garden, but also in some of the things you're going through too.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was very helpful. Most of us are strangers, but it was very helpful. With the community coming together and just the show of support was pretty awesome. And I've seen it not just with myself, but I've seen it with other people as well. And we are very blessed and fortunate to have the community we have.
So much so, yes.
We are, man.
100%, man.
We are, and you know, I want you to give all the positive vibes to your son, and keep being a good dad too. That's very important. And just as a kind of like a side note too, I used the love of the community recently myself. I have to confess that I am running out of my Rockefeller weed fortune that I so brazenly gloated about like not too many shows ago. And I sent out like a bit of a distress call, like help, keep SOS, help, keep the captain stoned. Don't. I would never advise as your attorney to send hemp in the mail, but if you did, this is how I would do it. This is the address that I would send it to. Donate to the Keep Captain Stoned Fund. And a lot of you guys came through in flying colors. And yeah, just I'm so happy. Like you guys rock. I will be doing smoke reports of that stuff on future episodes. So keep an ear out.
Nice. Look forward to hearing them.
If that's you, if you're waiting for it, I'm just saying. I know some of you are waiting for it. I'm just saying, coming. We have a guest tonight. Come on. I had to smoke his weed that he sent too. Allegedly. In Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Just in Minecraft. But the most important part of doing that is like you say all the time, you don't get caught.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
took
be smart.
words right out of my mouth, man.
Be smart.
Be smart. Deal with people you trust. Yeah, be smart and yeah.
Package things properly.
Yeah, have a vacuum sealer. It's actually such a handy kitchen tool too. When you don't finish a pack of bacon, seal that bitch right back up. Have a fresh pack of bacon next weekend.
Who the fuck doesn't finish a pack of bacon?
I know, right? Just cook the whole damn thing. But I'm just saying, it comes in handy. But once again, BGG, thank you for blessing us with your time and your presence in the community. You're like a stalwart of our little, always in the server, in the Discord, hanging out, chatting, and you're awesome, dude. We appreciate you so much.
And anybody watching this video, make sure you fucking tapping in with a thumbs up if you're watching it. Got to help out the algorithm here. Get us some more subscribers.
Like, share, subscribe for sure.
Yeah, all that bullshit. I'll sell my soul.
Sure. And yeah, like Operation, go into a Reddit thread and drop our name in the comments. Just no one told you to do it. Just do it. And while you're doing it, guys, and until next time, of course, most important part as always, don't get caught.
Have a good night, everybody.